Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to REMYCA Radio. Here with me, David Brindle, live at Nooses, the home of Daisy Hill. The two teams are out on the pitch, ready to go. In case you've missed any of it on social media, the REMYCA team: Ben Morrow in goal, Anthony Barnes, David Chris Lowe, Stephen King make up the back four. Paul McNally chose a midfield three today of Chris Tyson, Sam Dodd and Anthony Cato, and then a front three of Lennon Hewell, Colin MacDonald and Will Doherty. Obviously Doherty making his first start, so is Sam Dodd. Doherty did get an appearance off the bench midweek. The substitutes are Paul Cliff, Jake Connor, Danny Cross and Luke Ainscoe. For the home team, Daisy Hill, it's Craig Haynes, who's the captain, the goalkeeper, Joshua Fairhurst, Jordan Hussey, Jordan Donnelly, Jadeel Norman, Bradley Aspinall, Adam Owens, Matthew Knowles, Michael Gervin, Alexander McPollen and Hensley Mills. On the bench for the home side is Richard Coley, Jake Chadwick, Matthew Zajak, William Thornhill and Miles Hops. The referee today is Mr. C. Thompson. Welcome everyone for joining us at REMYCA Radio here in New Sears. I hope you read Paul McNally's pre-match interview. We'll just give you a quick blast of it before we get going. Right, I'm here with Paul McNally, the Lidl REMYCA manager. How are you doing, Paul?
Not too bad, David, thanks.
What are your thoughts on today's game?
I'm anticipating a tough game. In most of the games they've been beaten just by the one goal, so I'm expecting them to come at us a little bit because they're at home, but I think if we're on our game, I think we should have too much for them.
Definitely.
I'm hoping so anyway.
What about your team selection today? What's the thoughts behind that?
Well, Steve Ferrigan's carrying an injury, Jordan Stafford's had a late call up for work, so I've brought Anthony Cato in, centre mid, Sam Dodd making his debut from Alsager, and Will Doherty's getting a start from Marine. So I've gone with the three in the middle and three up front. So I'm hoping to put them on the back foot basically and get on the front foot for us and maybe get a few goals.
Thanks very much, Paul.
No problem, David, thank you.
Paul McNally's thoughts there pre-game. Paul's in the centre here with Doherty. Shapes up to shoot, trying to squeeze in between a couple of Daisy Hill defenders. They don't quite get it clear. So with Hewell on the right, into Colin MacDonald, who tries to leave it for Sam Dodd making his debut for REMYCA. Stephen Ferrigan out injured today, so Chris Tyson takes the armband. Of course, one of the founder members of the North West Counties Football League here, Daisy Hill. MacDonald chests this ball off to Hewell on the edge. He's in the area, trying to get a left-footed strike in. Leaves it for Sam Dodd. Drops it off to Tyson, gets the right foot in, drives it wide. Couldn't find any room there, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Don't forget you can tweet us at REMYCA Radio. Tyson to take this. He's going to sweep it towards the right-hand side. King gets his header on it, straight into the arms of Haynes, though. Great header by King, sent towards the centre forward. He's headed it out to the REMYCA right. Lovely touch by Lennon Hewell to get himself in behind with a bit of space. Sam Dodd going on the overlap. Hewell takes it past Norman, gets a strike in, a goal, and it just goes wide of the mark. First big chance for Lennon Hewell there. An absolute live wire. Excellent flick to just shake off Joshua Fairhurst. And then he gets a strike in, but it was a bit low. Daisy Hill coming away with it, letting it go out of play for a throw in. Two Daisy Hill players clash together and REMYCA come away with the ball. It's now Tyson on this left hand side, driving 40-50 yards right towards the corner flag. Knocks it back to Cato. Little 1-2 into the centre again now. Back he goes to Cato, just looking for options. Turns it inside to Dodd. Nice 1-2 again. Cato on the left hand side, being stood up by Gervin. Dodd gets a ball in towards the centre. MacDonald will hold it with Norman on his back, flicks it over the top. Eventually it's cleared away by Norman, Jadeel Norman. Out it comes to Cato with the strike. Safe hands from Craig Haynes. It was a proper battle of two absolute monsters of men there between Colin MacDonald and Jadeel Norman. Colin almost held him off and got a strike in. Don't forget you can tweet us at REMYCA Radio. Let us know where you are today, where you're listening, what your thoughts are. Barnes will throw it into Huel on the edge of the area. He's trying to be Fairhurst, glides past him, holds him off, gets a ball across the face of the goal. It's fell in the centre for Doherty, and he's fired it over the bar under a challenge. It's actually been deflected, and it'll be a corner. Stephen King's asked Chris Tyson, where are you going? Chris Tyson says to take the corner. Kingy meant where he was putting the ball in the area, and in the end it goes straight into the arms of Craig Haynes, who gets Daisy Hill on the front foot now with Adam Owens on the left hand side. King trying to sprint back to get in. The ball's put in behind for Alexander McPollen, and he's been caught offside by the REMYCA back four. Take it into Barnes, takes a touch on his left foot, hooks it into the area towards Doherty, headed clear by Knowles. Cato is fouled on the edge of the area there by Gervin, and that could be a decent area for a free kick. Tyson's going to take this. It's a four-man wall, curls it over the top straight into the arms of Craig Haynes. Shout out to Andy Olsen, former REMYCA coach, just texted me. He'd like to be known as the best striker in non-league. That's questionable. No, I'm only joking on. Thanks for listening, mate. Hopefully have Andy at some point during the season, maybe later on. He's fancies come and joining us and keeping me company. Gets quite boring for me to sit here and ramble on. I can imagine it does for you too at home. It's a nice little setup here, to be fair. There's a bit of hard standing over by the dugouts. There's a nice little clubhouse and changing room facility at the back of one of the goals. Of course, as we said, Daisy Hill are looking for their first win of the season here today. You can see that at least 2 goals in 60% of their games so far this season. REMYCA have possession. McDonald goes back to Chris. Bit of space in front of him to play. Into the feet of Cato. Nice first touch. Finds Colin McDonald now just on this left hand side. Whips a nice ball into the centre towards Doherty. He brings it down. He hits the net, but it's offside. That would have been his second goal in a REMYCA shirt. Nice bit of play though. Just went a little bit too early. Clever bit of play by Huel. Now he's going to be stood up by Fairhurst. Gets down to the byline. Gets a ball in. It's well blocked. Into the feet of Doherty now. Right foot, nice little chip towards the back post. McDonald climbing at the back post, can't quite get his head on it properly, and it'll go out of play for the goal kick. Next up for REMYCA, of course, is a home game where Wednesday night against Prestwich Hayes, and that's followed by the FA Vars qualifying round tie at home to Ashton Town. Ashton Town, of course, sadly relegated last season. It'll be nice to see them all again. Lennon Huel just grasping onto his back a little bit there. Slight injury maybe. McDonald issuing instructions to his team. Nice first touch by Cato, trying to get to the byline. He's just shepherded out of play. REMYCA have scored 13 league goals so far this season in 4 league games, including 4 against Camel Laird on Tuesday night. They've conceded an average of a goal a game in their games. Obviously they conceded 3 against Chadderton, which has brought the average quite high. Not high, but up so much. They kept a couple of clean sheets to start the season off. Tyson into the feet of Colin McDonald. He's trying to hold off Jadeel Norman. He shakes him off, and the referee's now going to give a good bit of advantage, and he gives REMYCA a free kick after some neat hold-up play from Colin McDonald. REMYCA have actually scored 6 goals within the first 30 minutes in the game so far this season. They haven't got one today. This time it's Dodd, a 4-man wall. That's straight into the hands of Haynes. It was nicely over the wall, the 4-man wall. Daisy Hill can't get the ball forward, and now Cato's going to bring it over the halfway line into the feet of Sam Dodd, new signing from Alsager Town, who've just scored in their game against Atherton LR. Doherty now on the left, driving at Knowles. Hooks it on his left foot. Oh, it's a good save by Craig Haynes. Doherty just finding a little bit of space, hitting it towards the near post. Strong strike. Well saved by Haynes. It's going to be a corner. Fairhurst nicks that ball off Cato. Barnes will clear it away. Doherty trying to bring it down. Poor first touch is picked up on by Jadil Norman, who clears it. Tyson now brings it down in the centre of the park, out to the right with Cato. Man on his back, man in front of him, tries to glide past him. And he's just been blocked off there by Michael Gervin. Cato trying to take it quickly. The referee tells him he can't. And he'll bring it back for a free kick. Tyson is hovering over. It's online with the... It's online exactly with me where I am at the minute, actually. On the left side of the 18-yard box, the line from the touchline. It's just inside of that on this REMYCA right-hand side. Just going to swap the balls over. Tyson not too happy with the quality of that one. So he's looking into the centre, bit of movement from King and Lowe. It's a good ball in towards the back for Stephen King. He gets a header down. It's off the post, but he's offside. Will Doherty with the header. It's hit the post, and he smacks the post in anger afterwards. Barnes will just clear it up the line. Is it going to stay in? It is. Sam Dodd's going to try and get it under control. Headed out now by Aspinall. Dodd goes running into the bushes to try and get the ball and get the play moving quickly. Doherty just holding his run. He's been just spotted there, trying to get in behind again. Dodd trying to hold off Aspinall, trying to meg him. It goes out for a throw. Barnes throws to McDonald. You probably heard Colin screaming for that there. He's in the area with Norman on his back. Just pokes it away, does Norman. It's not quite cleared though. Cato takes a touch in towards the penalty area, glides past Norman, pulls it back for Anthony Barnes. It's 1-0 to REMYCA. Anthony Barnes with the goal. The Remy lead on the 38th minute. There's up in the air. Doherty flicks it on towards Huell. He's trying to just get in behind. Doherty has it now again, trying to take past Norman. Flicking it off. Fairhurst battled with Doherty. Now he finds Lennon Huell on this left hand side. Doherty one more time. He's brought down. That was a penalty for me. He's been brought down in the area by Jadil Norman. It was a clumsy challenge. No penalty given. And the referee, who's been excellent so far, he's had a bit of a blunder there. King heads the ball. It's going to fall to McDonald. Inside the area now, Lennon Huell. Nice little Cruyff gets a left-footed strike in just past the goal. Neat play in the area from Huell to keep it alive. Chris wins that header well. The long ball, Doherty again, just trying to hold off. It's Knowles this time. Ball's going in behind for Colin McDonald. Jadil Norman flicks it up in the air, gets the seconds, clears it away. Tyson just misses up, but Cato is there to sweep up, gives it to Tyson. Now it's Dodd on the right. He's got Cato overlapping him. Nice run by Cato, opens a bit of room up for him. Norman's head has gone back towards Lennon Huell. Doherty flicks it down for Huell on the left side of the area, inside the 18. Doherty now shaping up on his left foot. Just gets it past the goal, and that is half time. Throw-in is taken here. REMYCA still have possession. Danny Cross in possession down the line to Cliff. The two substitutes just getting the ball together. Cliff gets into the centre. Doherty hits the back of the net. It's 2-0. Fantastic ball in from Paul Cliff. Received the ball from Danny Cross, and it's Will Doherty with his second in 2 games. Great finish by Doherty. It's come across from the left. He's hit it at the near post on the inside of his left foot, and it's just rocketed into the back of the goal. That makes it 2-0. Daisy Hill coming straight on the attack. What a save from Ben Morrow. They've drove forward. Fantastic save from Ben Morrow to keep a certain goal from going in there. Just looping over his head, reached high above him and got a palm on it. Ball sent into the centre. Good header by Chris Lowe to clear it. Will Doherty trying to hold it up, flicks it onto Paul Cliff. REMYCA now trying to get down on the counter attack. It's Cliff on the right. He's being held up by Fairhurst. Comes back into the centre with Cross. Keep the ball well with Cato, and now finding Tyson. Ball in behind towards Doherty. He's just too much and straight through to the arms of the goalkeeper. It's Daisy Hill 0, REMYCA 2. Cliffy's tried to hit a ball at an open goal there from a long way. There's Colin Mack. You alright? Yeah, I'm on now. Yeah, come and talk to us. How are you?
Thanks for listening, folks. It's 2-0 to the Remy.
Long ball over towards Paul Cliff. Can he bring it down? Inside the area. Holds it up. He's going to win a corner from that. Tyson Good ball in. Flynn with the header. It falls to cross. It's eventually gone out for a goal kick. Flynn just flicked it on at the back post. Cross was sliding in at the back. Flynn flicked it at the front post. Danny Cross trying to get a foot on it. Sends it out of play. Cross now on the right. Sends it back towards Cato. Cato back again to Cross. Ball's going to bounce. Anthony Barnes challenging with Zajac, the substitute, who's got a bit of room on the edge of the area, shaking off a couple of defenders. It's wide with Mills, being stood up by Stephen King. Ball comes over the top. Eventually leads to nothing. All the action from this game will be on REMYCA Radio later on, as well as full match report on remyca.co.uk. Ben Morrow just doing some keep-ups at the minute as we wait for the substitution to be made for Daisy Hill. The sun's shining once again over New Sears. Christ on the second ball, now brought down by Cliff in the centre circle, returns the ball to the full-back. He sends it on to Cross. Cross is going to curl one towards Cato, and Doherty heads it out for a goal kick. Cliff gets down the line now, he's at the touch line. Trying to put a ball into the centre, it's blocked. Flinney shapes up to cross this ball in. Cross goes back out to Cliff. Just keeping possession here, REMYCA. Nice turn by Flinney trying to get a shot in. It's going to roll into the goalkeeper's hands. Flicks it up into his own hands. Trying to get them on the front foot early. Ball's again put over the top, this time to a bit of joy with Mills. Just on the edge of the area. Just slow trying to step him up. There's an overlap and run which Cliff hasn't followed. The chance to equalise here for Daisy Hill if they can get it in. It's cleared off the line by Ainscough. Cross wins the ball on the edge. The on-waiting Jordan Donnelly. Daisy Hill still have it. Sent wide, brought down this time by Knowles. In towards the centre. King with a good header. Falls out to Donnelly, left-footed, not the best of strikes. It's going to be a throw on the left-hand side. Daisy Hill trying to make a fight of things in the last few minutes. Ball's all the way back from that throw into the Daisy Hill keeper, who sends it long, high into the air. Chris Lowe wins the header. Tyson's got a bit of time and space to turn. He's going to flick it over to the left with Cliff. He's not going to keep that in. That's going to go for a throw-in. Haynes sends it long from the goal kick towards Zajac. Challenged by King and eventually cleared by Lowe. Ainscough sends it wide to the left for Cliff. Trying to keep it in. He has done this time. Is it going to stay in? He's tried to let it run out there, Paul Cliff. He's been beaten to it and he's given away a throw in. Daisy Hill now trying to get forward on the left hand side. Back into the centre with Norman. And he's going to switch it towards Donnelly. Donnelly chests it down. Just trips on the ball a little bit. Tyson's going to steal it off him. It's a lovely ball over the top. Almost looking for Doherty. Well won by Norman. And that's it. It's full time. It's game over. It's finished. Daisy Hill 0. Little and REMYCA 2. Goals from Will Doherty and Anthony Barnes in the first half. I've wrapped this up. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back on Wednesday night when it's REMYCA against Prestwich Hayes in the North West Counties First Division. I'll see you all then.